Right, I have some great news. The first prototypes have been completely built. So, these are just hand painted. For some reason, the paint on this one was still wet, so I have it out here to dry. So, what's the difference in these two prototypes? This one, I know I put the knobs there. Don't ask me why. I was going to make this a stereo unit, but the type of wire I used prevented that, and I'll get on that in a minute. So the in and out, and then the knobs. When I actually build these, it's not going to be built like that. That's just how this prototype was built. Yeah. And then this one is just always on. You can't turn it off, and you can't adjust it. So that's just max gain, max volume. So what's this based on? This is based on the Hemo Bass Fuzz, Baz Fuzz, however you say it. I forgot. What's the guy's name? His name is Hemo. I can't remember if that's his last or first name. Not sure, but look up HEMMO space BAZZ space FUZZ. I think that's how it's spelled. Anyways, this is based on that. So this is a direct copy of it. Kind of, basically. This I substituted a component on this one. So this one has more, it's more tame. It has a little less treble in it, a little less treble. So this is originally made for bass, so it's kind of weird with guitar, but it does work pretty good with synthesizer. I noticed with guitar, it's almost like it's a little bit gated, depending on how loud you play your guitar. I mean, if you have your guitar at max volume and you play it pretty tough, then it'll come through, but it doesn't like to come through. You might have to like boost your guitar before going into it, but it's not, like I said, it's not really meant for guitar. But anyways, it sounds cool. I'm gonna have some demos later. So like I said, this one's been slightly modified, and this one is just normal but with nothing. So I put the paint on way too thick on this, and it's still drying even though it's been like over a week. So here's the update. I'm gonna stand up because I'm tired of crouching. I'm gonna leave that one out here to dry, but we're gonna take this one. Okay, so here's the update. I've ordered pedal cases. They're gonna take about a month to get here because they're coming from Thailand, but it got me a better deal on them. But then I found an American company that actually sells them for about the same, right? Which is cool. But the problem with that company that sells them for about the same in America is they only come in like 5 colors. And then the 5th one isn't even a color. 5th one's just bare metal. So they come in like white, black, red, and blue. And I think that for the cheap ones, you can buy more expensive colors. But for like the affordable ones, that's it. The other colors are like triple the amount. And that's called Love My Switches, I think. But that's where I ordered my wire. So this is some advice I'd give to all of y'all right now if y'all listening. Whatever you do, if you're going to get into building pedals, do not use solid core wire, okay? Or single strand wire. Okay. There's one main reason for this. It's not flexible. And you'll end up having to bend things, and it'll have your connections get broken. This pedal took me like 5 times as long because the connections kept getting broken because I was using solid core wire. And I did have a little bit of multi-core wire, but it wasn't going to be, it was like a really low quality wire, so I didn't want to use it on my prototype. So I have ordered a ton of wire from Love My Switches, and they actually had like American, like not affiliated or anything, not paying me, but they actually were the only company that I could find 24 gauge multi-stranded American made wire. That was, that's all I could find, really. I think there might have been one other place, but like you had to buy like 1,000 feet of it, and it was like only came in one color. But here they had multiple colors, so I ordered 5 colors of it. And you might say, why the heck would you order 5 colors? The main reason I ordered 5 is on the foot switch, there will be 5 wires coming out of it. And if I could have each one of those a separate color, it's going to make building these the easiest. I mean, much quicker. So that's what took the longest, was doing the foot switch and having to guess which wire was which. But if I have a color for each one, that is eliminated, and that will streamline the process. So I want to tell you a little bit about the pedals, what they're going to be. So they're going to be priced the price will range depending on how complex they are. Some of them will have the volume and gain knob. Some of them will have the volume and gain knob plus an extra switch or two, maybe. And some will be like that bad boy over there and literally be no knobs at all. It's just max on all the time. And you might say, why would you build one that you can't turn off and you can't adjust? The two reasons, and I'm going to explain to you. The first one I found is you get more gain, just a little more gain out of it when you don't have any knobs hooked up to it. And it's kind of nice. You lose about 5% of the gain when you add the knobs to it, what I would say. Now, I went with a higher value knob, and I feel like it didn't work as well, but it did give me more gain. So I'm going to experiment with the values of the knobs, see what works out. I put 20K on the one I built. 5K took off too much of the top end gain, so I might settle on a 10K or somewhere in between, but we'll see. And yeah. But anyways, besides all that, besides the main, some pedals with the knob, some without, there also will be a main line and special editions, okay? So the main line will be, I'm going to experiment with alternating the components, and I'm gonna come up with something unique. I don't want it to be like too similar. Like the one in that little box is basically identical to a Hemo, and the one, I don't want to do that. I want to make it identical. And then the big one, I just changed one component, and I want to do more than just change one component. I want to change a few, maybe add some things. What I did on the big one is I changed the input electrolytic capacitor from a 10 to a 47, and that rolls off some of the treble. So I guess, you know, if you actually are using that for a bass guitar, you might like it even more. And for your synth, it just there's a tiny bit less background noise, just a little tiny bit less background noise, but you lose a little bit of that max gain and a little bit of the treble. So I'm probably going to go back to a lower value. I might even do a lower value than a 10, but that might be insanely noisy. But we're going to experiment. But anyways, besides all that, I've actually ordered some germanium transistors. They are, I think they are, if I remember correctly, MP38As. So they're not that high of a gain. But the reason I ordered those is because out of all like vintage Russian germanium transistors, it's one of the more reliable ones, and I'm a lot less likely to get one with too much leakage. So I wanted to start out with those. But a lot of people know about that, and a lot of people go after those for like boosts and stuff, or distortions, whatever. Not really fuzz as much, but so they're more expensive generally, and they're in the lower supply than other ones. So I got 4 of them for, I don't know how much I spent. 4 of them for about, if you count shipping, they were like, the total was like $10, $15. So for 4 of them. So kind of expensive. Not the most expensive though. But yeah, there's going to be a germanium version. So I don't know if all 4 of them will be suitable to use, but I'm hoping they are. So there'll be at least 4 of those germanium bad boys coming. And the germanium ones will all be knobbed. I'm not going to throw a germanium one, waste it in one of the knobless pedals. But anyways, this case right here, I'll show you. This case is like mega small. The knobless ones, I'm actually going to make the knobless ones in 125Bs or 125A. I don't know. I can't remember which is, if it's A or B. But We'll figure it out later. But I'm gonna put the knobless ones in the 125s size pedal, which is like a standard pedal, slightly a little bit bigger. And then I'm gonna put the knobbed ones in a bigger pedal, not as big as that beast you saw on my prototype, but a bigger pedal. So yeah. So yeah, stay tuned. It's gonna be dope. And I've ordered. I used, how many did I use? I used 2 circuit boards, obviously. I had a pack of 5 for that, and I ordered 30 more. So I'm using a very specific type of board for these that isn't like your standard board. I can only find like a few companies that make them. Most of them were like garbage, but I found one in South Korea that made a higher quality one, so I'm ordering those. Oh, and I also wanted to let y'all know I will be including, not in the not with these, not with the knobless ones, but with the knobbed ones, I'm going to be including a battery clip. So you can still power it by battery, but by default it'll have this clip hooked up to it, and it'll run where you can plug in a typical center negative 9-volt power supply to these devices, which will be cool. And you can always pull that out and use it with battery power if you wish. And I probably will offer, if you don't want that, I will offer a rechargeable lithium battery option as a small upcharge, but it won't be the cost of the device. Like, I think if I buy a lithium, 2 9-volt, a quality one, 2 9-volt with the charger, lithium, rechargeable batteries, about $10-12, right? But if you want to get that instead of the clip, I only charge you like 5 or 6 extra for it, because the actual clips that are going into these things are going to be $5 each. That's how much I'm getting. I'm actually getting them from Sweetwater. I'm getting 1 spots. I'm not getting a cheap one, so you know they'll be good and they'll hold up. So there, that's that. Well, I'm glad you guys stayed and watched, and I also want to give a shout out to, I'm not going to say his name or her, and I'm not sure what they are, but someone on Reddit helped me on my journey building this, and I really appreciate them. Really do appreciate them. And when I get this business up and running, if they want one, I'm definitely going to send them one of these pedals. So thank you guys for watching. And a cool thing I just noticed is, if y'all know JHS pedals, the stream they did yesterday was so ironic that they did that, because they're talking about this brand and talking about like a breadboard kit and how great it was. And that's actually the breadboard kit, the company. They built a Boost, but I built a fuzz, and it's not the Hemo I built, and I built a different fuzz. But I think it was, I can't remember, is it Copper Sound or Copper Tone? They're 2 pedal makers. But just look up JHS's most recent stream and you'll see it on there. But they make these cool little pedal box things that have different components in it, and you can plug it in and test different values while you're building your pedals, instead of having to like breadboard each piece by piece or solder each piece by piece. And that's awesome. I actually haven't even used them with this design, but I have, when I was circuit bending, hooked up the thing and got some interesting results. So yeah, that's that. Not much else to tell you. The pedals I'm ordering, like I said, they're coming from Thailand. They'll take like a month to get here. But I think I'll order a couple. Well, I did order one with my wires just to see what theirs were like, but I might order a couple so we don't have to wait for that full month for those other ones to get here. Yeah. But at the same time, I might just work on the circuits and build the circuits, and then when all the cases arrive, then build all the pedals, like finish them up. You know what I mean? Doing all this, the one thing I wish I had was one of those machines where it has a drill and you push it, drill down, and it drills. Because when you drill by hand, once you're like starting to go through the pedal, it wants to like and then make the pedal start spinning. It's not fun. And yeah, and you can hold it down good, but when you do that, you get just covered in metal shavings. So definitely the goal is to get one of those machines once this is big enough. But man, yeah, if y'all had aspirations for building pedals, just follow your dreams. I never thought I'd be at this point of building the pedals, you know, because I mean, some people see it as a disability, some don't. It just depends where you live. But my ADHD really holds me back. It's, people make fun of it like it's, you know, just, oh, you're crazy, hyper, or whatever. But it's really it really holds your life back depending on how severe you have it. So it has its benefits. It makes you very creative, but at the same time, you can't really focus. You can't stay dedicated to something. And I feel like if I wouldn't have been suffering with this, I probably would have got this done years ago. But that's the magic of the medicine, and I'm on the medicine now, and it's helped me be productive. So yeah. Well, there's not much else to say, except of course I have those custom picks that will be included with your pedals. Like I said, the battery clip will come unless you get the small one. It won't come with the small one. And there is one other thing you might not like. So the way I'm building these, it's going to be just more effort. I could do it, but they're going to have a slight, they're not going to completely not drain the battery if it's not in there. But that's not really a problem because these are going to come with the battery clips, right? But and you're going to say, well, the small ones don't. But with the small ones, you're going to get such a good deal on those small ones that you can't really complain. You know, you can just take out the battery every time if you have to. But I noticed, I don't know what the exact drain on the battery is, but I noticed it was very small. I accidentally left the pedal running for like a whole day and came back the next night, like over 24 hours. And it was like, the battery was fine. And the battery was already old and used, and it was still going like over a solid day of use, like straight. So it's not that big of a drain, but you know, if it's just sitting there, not the best. So yeah. If you are battery powering these, do remember to pull out the batteries, guys. Like I said, the clips come with all of them that have the knobs, and the but you can always add a clip to the cheaper one for just the cost to me. And then what else was I gonna say? I don't know. Oh yeah. I am debating on the knob ones to add a switch to bypass the knob and get a little more gain out of it. But it's probably going to be more work than it's worth just to get like 5% more gain. So I'm just going to experiment with different like values, knobs, and you know, do it that way. But I could possibly birds are looking at me. I'm thinking about actually adding a, well, I'll leave that a secret, but yep, that's about it. So yeah, I'm gonna be busy coming up because, you know, my grandmother recently passed, and we're figuring all that out. And I got a new job coming up. Hopefully, as like I said, that job's only temporary until we get this pedal business going. And yep, a Rooney. That's all there is to say. Now, I haven't come up with a name yet for these pedals, so that's one thing I am thinking of still. And I'm also thinking of what my mainline color is going to be. It was going to be this purple, but I'm like, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But like I said, these early units are going to be very experimental until we get our like final design. But there's still going to be a bunch of one-off versions, and 4 of the germanium versions. So yep, it's gonna be pretty dope. So yeah, the pricing. Oh yeah, so I forgot. Now I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do in the pricing. I did underestimate how long these were going to take to build. I thought I could maybe get one done every 20 minutes. Now, of course, if I was a very skilled builder, I could do that. But, you know, drilling it by hand, soldering everything by hand, yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer. Of course, I'll get the skill down and get more done. But, I think still the main goal, what I'm going to try to do, I got to calculate the cost, okay? So the price might have to be more, might be less, but the goal, okay, the goal is to have the main ones with the knobs for $99. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. I'm gonna have to calculate the costs of everything. But if they are $99, you're probably gonna have to pay for shipping. So I'm either gonna make them $99 and free, and $99 and you have to pay for shipping, or I'm gonna make them like $119, but shipping is free. Okay, you kind of see that. That's probably how it's gonna have to be. Something like that. And the little ones, the goal is to have those like maybe maybe $69 free shipping, or like $49 plus shipping, something like that. The ones without the knobs. So that's gonna be like amazing deal for your money on those. Like crazy deal. And possibly, I really could possibly even sell a kit version, but I'm thinking about the kit version. I just don't want the hassle of having like people asking me, "Hey, I did this wrong. What happened? It's not working." I just don't want the hassle of that, so I probably won't build a kit version. But if you get one of these, you can just study the insides, and you can make your own kit version if you want to, or whatever. Yeah. Now the cool thing about these boards is they're double-sided, and I'm only using one side of the board. So theoretically, I could make a stereo unit on one single board if I duplicated the components on the other side. Now they do share, but both sides share the same power rail. I'm not sure if that will make a difference or not. I haven't experimented with that yet, but maybe in the future. If any of y'all know, let me know below. Yeah. And another thing, the little tiny ones probably won't fit the skeletons in them, but the bigger ones will. Yep. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate y'all staying this long, and the next video you're gonna see is when I have a bunch of them built, and when they're ready. Now, also on those germanium transistors, those are gonna take about a month to get here too. So those should arrive around the same time those pedals arrive. Just have that in mind. Now, most of these, of course, are going to be silicon transistor based. And if you're wondering, they are NPN based. They're not PNPs. So, yeah. I am going to order some different NPN silicon transistors as well. Try different values and just see what happens. So, we're going to give that a go as well. The main components to swap out on these is you can swap out the transistor, swap out the diode, and swap out the input cap. Those three things will make the biggest difference. In that order, I believe. The input cap probably makes the littlest difference, but the transistor and diode make the biggest difference. I haven't swapped those out because I only have one value of each of those. But yeah, I'm gonna order some more of those as well. That's good. I just remembered I need to order some of those. Alright guys, well I'll see you, and thank you for watching this. And like I said, next video I'll be showing off once the pedals are built, once they're all done, not all of them, but like once enough of them are done to start selling them to you guys. And I can give you a proper demo. I'm not gonna sell the big prototype unit because the way it's built with that solid core wire is just too delicate. Now that little mini one's also built with solid core, but I think I actually will sell that one to you guys. Or I might save that one for a giveaway. Maybe I'll save that one for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway or something. When I get how about that? Yeah, that's actually the very first prototype over there, that little one. Whenever I do get to 1,000 subscribers, that will be in the giveaway. So